Hello, friends. Welcome to Our Unruly Nest. My name is Amber, and I'm so glad that you're here today. I'm very excited about this video because we're going to talk about homeschooling myths, and we're going to debunk them. And I love that. I love clearing up preconceived notions about homeschooling. Full disclosure, I was one of those moms. My child started in public school. I had so many preconceived notions that were not true, that I am hoping that I am able to help somebody out there that might be struggling with a lot of these myths that just simply aren't true, and you just might know it yet, and this might open up a door for you, and I'm hoping that I can help today. So thank you so much for being here. Hi, hello, welcome. Again, my name is Amber. I am a secular homeschooling mom of two. I have a 9.5-year-old and a special needs medically complex 3-year-old. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about us. And I'm just going to jump right into this today. There are a lot of amazing YouTubers that have made videos about this. I highly, highly recommend that you check them out. There are way too many myths for me to debunk here by myself. But I've tried to kind of put together, I feel like, a balanced list of some of the most common things that you will hear if you are considering homeschooling. So let's get started. So if you are considering homeschooling, if you are a homeschooler, then you know the number one myth that I am going to debunk. Everybody say it with me now. Your kids can't socialize if they don't go to public school. Guys, not true. Myth, not fact. The reality is, okay, that might have been true once upon a time. I tend to find that preconceived notions tend to have, roots somewhere. Maybe years and years ago, decades ago, maybe, socialization was very difficult if your child was not in a formal academic setting, either public school or private school. And that might have been true at one point. But guys, today in 2022, with, virtual everything and co-ops and activities, sports, and it's just not true. And actually, if you guys do not watch, what's the name of her channel? This Gathered Nest, Angela Braniff, she has a quote that I love. And I'm going to look over here at my notes. And what is that quote? I love it. She said it and I'm like, yes. Oh, public school is not socialization. It is forced association. Forced association. And she's right, guys. I'm going to tell myself here with my age, okay? I'll be 39 this year. Do you guys remember being in class, trying to talk to your friend, and your teacher stops the class and says, Amber, this is not the time and place to be socializing. You're at school to learn, not to socialize. Do you remember that? Because I do. I'm not sure where the concept came from that public school was essential for socialization. Not when I was in school. No. And I'll be 39 this year. So like I said, if it came from somewhere, it didn't come from any time recently. Also, the part of this that I feel is one of the biggest myths is that your child cannot be well-rounded and well-socialized. I find, personally, children are naturally inclined to want to socialize. So as long as you present them with that opportunity, you're going to find that kids are social creatures. Now, it's a personality thing, right? Maybe you have a child that's just more shy. That's okay. They're going to be just as shy in public school. They're not going to be any less shy, guys. It might actually be worse because, again, I agree with Angela. It's forced association. It's not socialization. There is a distinct difference, and I think it's important to remember that when people come at you with this, because they will. Myth debunked. Your children can be wonderfully socialized, and actually, I want to go on even to say, my daughter is so incredibly capable of socializing. Wow, this is what happens when I film multiple videos back to back. The words are just hard. My daughter is so adept at socializing with a varying age. Littles. Her brother is 3. She's wonderful with him. Her peer ages, like in Girl Scouts and dance, but also adults and teenagers. I mean, it's just not true. It's just not true. Am I insulting public school, private school? Absolutely not. I have a tremendous amount of respect for all education. Do not come for me. That is not what I'm saying. But if you're not going to homeschool because of any of these myths, I want to talk about that. And the first one and the loudest one that you will hear is that your kids can't socialize. And I want you to know that is just simply not true. Okay, moving on. Myth number 2, we are going to debunk today. You are not capable of homeschooling. Guys, yes, you are. Are you qualified to teach a classroom of 25 to 30 children? Maybe not. I'm not. I'm capable of a lot of things. I'm not capable of that. But I am more than capable of educating my children. And so are you. Here's the thing. We're going to get to another myth, but that kind of ties in with this. You do not have to know everything. You just simply have to have the desire to find the information, whether it is via, free resources like YouTube, Google, all the tech, the Echo Dots and all that kind of stuff. Seek out help from maybe a family member or a friend, a tutor. As long as you are willing and able to work with your child and be passionate about their education, and you're resourceful and you're willing to go looking for resources if you just don't naturally have a knack for it, guys, you are capable of homeschooling your children. And this is actually another Angela Braniff quote from that same video that I just loved so much. I'll link her video below, guys. But she was like, so let me just get this straight. The same school system that you feel made it so that you're not capable of homeschooling and educating your child, you feel is a better fit for your child? She didn't understand that, to be honest. Neither do I, because it's a myth. You are more than capable as long as you have the desire to find the resources to educate them. And in 2022, guys, the amount of resources out there from everything from, full open and go curriculums to individualized curriculums to public school, but online from home. I mean, there are just so many options that can work. You can find something that works for you and for your family. And I want you to know that. I need you to believe that. Guys, that's a myth. It's just not true. Okay? Moving on. Myth number 3. Homeschool is expensive. Well, yeah, it sure can be. If you have a problem, like I do, with wanting to have about 20 varieties of curriculum for one school year, if you have a book problem like I do, if you have a school supply obsession like I do, I'm not going to lie, homeschooling can be expensive if you choose for it to be. The myth here is that it has to be, that you have to have a lot of extra money to homeschool. Guys, it's just not true. It is just not true. It can be, it absolutely does not have to be. There are free total curriculums that you can use. The one that comes to mind, if you guys have not watched Michelle G, I will link her channel below. She is fantastic. They use Core Knowledge. It is a total online free curriculum, and you can print and you can bind. Check her videos out. She goes through it. Easy Peasy is a full comprehensive preschool curriculum. It might be faith-based. I don't know. I haven't used it. But just know, guys, Khan Academy, there are so many free options, and then there are super affordable options. Things like Time for Learning that can be online, a total complete curriculum for like $14 a month. Then, of course, you have your public schools that are just offered virtually that are free, such as Connections Academy, things like that. So, guys, homeschooling can be expensive if you have a problem like I do, if you want it to be, if you have the means to, and it's what you choose to do. It does not have to cost much at all. So don't let that myth keep you from homeschooling your child or children if it's something that is on your heart to do, okay? I promise it does not have to be expensive. Okay. Myth number 4, that your child has to be in the same level for all subjects. Guys, watch any of my videos. No, they don't. My daughter, again, public school background, she is all over the board with where she is at level-wise. There are some subjects she is significantly advanced than her would be at level 4, the grade that she is getting ready to start. But then there are some subjects that she's right on level. And then there are other subjects like reading comprehension, which again, I'm not going to go into because I have other videos on it, but that she's significantly lower levels. Guys, it's normal. She came from the public school system. It's there too. Teachers in the school system, right, they are amazing, but they are restrained. They're confined to the restraints of such a large body of children and trying to, general concept, all these subjects and then kind of herd them on to the next grade. And it's just the byproduct of trying to, have anywhere from 20 to 30 kids in one classroom. It's no one's fault, right? Public school is a wonderful thing for many, many people. And I personally have many, many friends and family members that are, either public or private school teachers, and they love those children fiercely and they're so invested in their education. But guys, the reality is it's not up to them. They are confined by restraints that are set, right, by the state, by the government. It's not up to them. And that so many kids just get herded through from grade to grade. So just because as a homeschool family, you get to see like, oh, my child's in a level 2 reading, but they're in a level 3 math, but they're in a level 2 handwriting. Oh, I think parents start to panic and they're like, well, no, my child, has to be on all level 3 because they're in grade 3. Guys, no, they don't. And if it's from a cost concern standpoint, in another video, I went into the reasons why we chose some of the curriculum that we did. And I'm not gonna lie, one of the reasons, and I even said it in that video, was because my daughter is in between levels. And so I would had to have purchased, right, multiple levels of the same subject. It would have been hundreds of dollars. I wasn't gonna do that. That just wasn't worth it to me. So I found more affordable ways to meet her where she's at with her different levels and not spend a fortune doing so. Guys, it's a myth that that's just a homeschool thing, that your child, cannot be on different levels. It's just not true. It's even in the public school system. You just don't realize it until they're home. So that is a myth. It is perfectly okay. And I'm even going to add, you can affordably work around it. And there are many, many YouTubers on this platform that will help you figure out. I am one of them. So I'm going to actually take this opportunity to suggest, if you have not watched any of my other homeschool videos, I would love to have you give this video a like, subscribe, join the Unruly family. I would be happy to help you be a part of this journey and figure this out. This is a lifestyle channel. It's not just homeschooling, but that is certainly about half the channel. So yeah, if you're really wanting help outside of this video, I have a lot of resources and you can certainly check out that homeschool playlist. Okay. All right. Moving on. Myth number 5. If I'm not strong in all subjects, I can't homeschool. This ties into the myth above that I wanted to mention. Guys, I cannot tell you how many homeschool moms, just in my world, I haven't met many homeschool dads. There are plenty, but from my personal experience, how many homeschool moms I have met that feel like if they have to, delegate out a certain subject, that they're not true homeschoolers. Guys, it's just not true. I don't care if, you're super great at language arts, but you're terrible at everything else. It goes back to what I said above. If you have the willingness to find resources to educate your child, you personally do not have to be a wizard, an all-knowing wizard of all things. Guys, I'm not. I'm not. And I'm going to tell you, I know some pretty amazing homeschooling moms. They're not all-knowing either. None of us are. We just are determined to find resources or to reach out for help from friends, family, tutors, online resources. There is just such a plethora of resources available to you. And if you need to delegate out something, a subject or many subjects, especially in the later years, right? When things get harder, maybe your child, has a knack for really intense high level math and you're like, I barely got through geometry. I just squeaked by. That's okay, guys. There are so many ways you can get that math curriculum in. You don't have to be able to do it. And that makes you no less of a homeschool warrior. You can do this. That is a myth, okay? It's a myth. All right. Myth number 6, that you have to have a homeschool room or a big house to homeschool. No. You guys, I don't have a homeschool room. I have a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house. It's a decent sized home. I am very, very blessed, but I have nowhere special to homeschool. We have our dining room. I like antiques and things, so I've got like baskets and picnic baskets and things hiding curriculum. I've got bookcases in my basement with, stuff on there, cubes with bins. Guys, we just homeschool wherever. We sit at the dining room table some, but then it's like, well, this isn't comfortable. We move to the couch. We'll move to my bed. My kids think it's such a treat to be in, mom and dad's bed during the day. We'll sit there and we'll do school in my bed on lap boards. Guys, there are families that homeschool full-time on the road, right? They're, living their van life or their RV life, and, they're traveling and they're homeschooling in like the size of a camper. The reality is you can homeschool anywhere. That's the beauty and the flexibility of it. You do not have to be sitting at a desk in a homeschool room that is perfectly stocked, perfectly decorated. You do not have to have a ton of space. There is a YouTuber that I watch. She started homeschooling when they were literally homeless. They were in transition of moving homes. Her husband's in the military. And when she decided to start homeschooling her kids, they were basically, her words, not mine, squatting with her in-laws. And they started homeschooling and they used the living room floor. Guys, you can do it. I promise. That is a myth. Okay? Myth number 8, that you need the patience of a saint. I am the most impatient person on the face of the planet. Let me just tell you what. I would argue that you need patience to be a parent. You don't just have patience. It's a skill you work on, you tune. And guys, even then, like, I think that's why having a support system is very helpful, even if it's a virtual one like this, because you have days, you have moments of days where you're like, I cannot do this. I cannot do this anymore. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm just going to tell myself here, guys, I am somebody that values alone time and quiet. People that know me in real life are like, you are the last person, Amber, I would have ever thought would homeschool, because I want my quiet time. I want my alone time. I do not want kids talking in my ear all day long. Guys, it's a skill that I've learned. And actually, what I end up telling them, which is so funny, it has become, the more I was away from my children, so working out of the home, right, or them in school or, in childcare, the less patience I had, the more they, got on my nerves. It's like, if you don't use it, you lose it. I actually find that with them home full time, do I still need trips out of the house by myself? Oh yeah. My husband, he is amazing. I'll be like, I'm going to drive into town because it's 30 minutes away by myself. And my daughter's like, Mom, can I please go? And I'm like, sweetheart, no, Mama needs some alone time. And she's like, okay, because they're so used to hearing it, right? We have quiet time every single day. My son has resty time. My daughter does schoolwork or reads, and I either have resty time with my son, I get some chores or something done, I prep dinner, I read. I need that time. Guys, you can build it in. You can build it in. And then there are evenings when I'm just done and I tell my husband after dinner, I'm like, you've got this, right? Because I'm just gonna go into bed and read for a bit. And he's like, yeah, honey, go. You will find your people. you will find a way. You do not have to have the patience of a saint. You do not have to love spending every single micro moment with your children or your spouse, or you can still do it, and you can still have healthy boundaries, personal space, and time to yourself for your sanity and for self-care. And I actually find it makes me more patient and a more in tuned mom and a better homeschooling mom when I create and carve out that time regularly, routinely for myself. So that is a huge myth. I am the most impatient person on the face of the planet. I wish I could introduce you to some people that know me in real life and they would be like, yeah. But I figure it out because it's on my heart to homeschool, and you can too, I promise you. Okay? So if you're watching these YouTubers and you're like, oh, you just must be the most No, you just figured out where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. Number 9, last one. I feel like this is right up there with the socialization one. And myth number 9 is that if you homeschool all the way through high school, then going to college is just a non-option. Guys, it's such a huge myth. Do a basic YouTube search. I do not have high school homeschoolers, but I have family members that were homeschooled all the way up through high school. One of them, it is, I guess she's my niece. It's actually my stepsister, but it's her daughter. She is homeschooled all 6 of her children. And her daughter, so my niece, is getting ready to graduate from medical school. Guys, she's going to be a pediatrician. She was homeschooled in the state of Indiana all the way through high school, went to college, went to undergrad, went to medical school, did her residency, and she is about ready to sit for her boards, and she's going to be a pediatrician. Guys, I cannot tell you how many people I personally know in my life like this. It is just not true. It is the biggest myth. Now, are there states that have different requirements? Sure. Do you have to figure out what your state requires? Yes. Are there certain universities and colleges, right, that you're going to have to do different things to meet their requirements? They're going to require transcripts, probably an SAT, an ACT, things like that. But it absolutely can be done just like anything else. You just have to have the ability and the desire to find the resources to do it for your child. So please know, all 9 of those things are total myths. I hope we have debunked some of them for you. I'm sure there are loads more. But again, simple search on YouTube and you will find a lot of amazing YouTube families that have done very similar videos to this. There really isn't much new under the sun on YouTube. So I will list some amazing videos and resources below that I used for inspiration for this video, not to try to claim, ideas as my own. But guys, these are just so common. I think it's important that we all discuss them. So if nobody has told you today, friend, I want to be the one to do it. And that is that you are enough, exactly who you are, exactly where you are. And I want to make sure that you know that and that you feel it and you believe it. I'm so thankful that you stopped by today. I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing, joining the Unruly family, and I will be back again soon with a video. Bye.